The final score, Wrexham 3, Exeter City 0. And I think, but first and foremost, hats off to Mr. Parkinson, because Phil Parkinson pulled off a beauty here, I would say. We've looked, not quite our best last couple of weeks, although to be fair, it's not been a reason for panic, and we're still right up there in League One. But Phil Parkinson obviously decided a little bit of a shake-up and a refresh was necessary, and my word, didn't he do it well. He made 4 changes. And before the game, a lot of people were saying to me, "Oh, this is a bit of a gamble, this. He's gone away from the sort of methodology which has worked so well for him. Will it work out right?" Oh, yeah, it worked out right. I mean, it was superb. I think it really caught Exeter out. Certainly, I would say, before this match, Exeter the best defence in the division. They did not let goals in. Well, we've got the best defence in the division now because we were able to put goals past them. First time they've let 3 goals in an away game since New Year's Day. And they haven't let in 3 goals up to this point in the league this season. But wow, we could have got more. And we were hugely impressive. So how did those changes work? I mean, the essential sort of shape change was 1 striker up front. Elliot Lee playing, alongside Palmer or dropping off to make a box midfield. He was there trying to get as close to Palmer as he could. But there was great energy in that midfield. Rathbone came in. Matty James was playing in a deeper position in midfield and regulating play beautifully. Dobson was really working hard. And yeah, when we pressed. Those midfielders stepping up with the wing-backs, really putting terrific pressure on Palmer. And Exeter struggled massively to get out of their half in the early stages, apart from the first minutes when Dobson misplaced a pass and Exeter had half a chance to get a shot off, didn't take it, and then were just buried under an avalanche of intensity and pressure. That first 10 minutes were magnificent from Wrexham as we were really at it. First effort we had, it came in the 3rd minute, Griffiths driving a powerful shot which hit a defender and ricocheted behind for a corner. Was it handball? Big appeal for handball. I've got to be honest, having looked at the footage a few times, I can't work out if it hit his arm or not, if I'm honest with you. His arm was out quite a long way, so if it did hit it, we're unlucky. But anyway, the ref doesn't give it, but we just keep piling on the pressure. And the corners, we get a succession of corners which go so close until we finally get the breakthrough. Elliot Lee curling one in from the left-hand side. It falls very kindly for Cleworth inside the 6-yard box. He strikes it really well, but it's blocked on the line. At first, I thought it was Rathbone who blocked it, actually. I don't think it was, although there is a misfortune befalling Rathbone in that 6-yard box a little bit later on. Wrexham continue. Another Lee corner is cleared only as far as O'Connell, about 15 yards out, and he drills in a powerful shot, which again is well blocked under the line. Another corner, this time Lee stepping up and ripping it inside the near post, and the centre-back Sweeney just about managed to head it off the line. Keeper's not getting there. If Sweeney hadn't made the header, Lee, I think, would have scored direct from a corner at the near post, which is unusual, isn't it? When you see them happen, it doesn't happen very often, they tend to be overhit and curling inside the far post. But this one, nearly inside the near post. And I just want to pull back and say something here. And again, if this was a plan, huge credit to Phil Parkinson and his coaching team. And we kept putting these devilish near post corners in, just inside the near post, like the one that Lee nearly curls in. Joe Whitworth in goal for Exeter. I mean, he's got great stats. He's on loan from Crystal Palace, and the word is that he's been terrific. He didn't look great in this game, I've got to say, and I can't help wondering whether we'd spotted something in his game, because we were constantly, like I said, ripping these corners on target to the near post. Lee nearly scores from one. And a minute later, we do score from one. And it won't be the last time either. Lee whipping the ball into the near post, Cleworth attacking it, getting there ahead of the keeper, close range header, emphatically planted into the net, and Wrexham were winning in the 6th minute. All these chances have come before the 6th minute. That's how intense we were. We ease off a touch then, to be honest, but are still looking in control until the 23rd minute when Rathbone's little unfortunate moment happens. I mean, if we didn't plan to exploit the keeper like this, then it's all down to brilliant delivery. I mean, the consistency of Lee's corners was fantastic. And then on the other side, McLean did exactly the same thing. So he whips in a corner. Lee gets up at the far post and heads it back across goal. I'm 99% certain it's going in. And Rathbone, standing on the goal line, taps it in and is correctly given offside. When I first saw it live, I thought it might have been given for a push by Lee, and I was livid when I looked at the replay because he made contact with the centre-back, but nowhere near enough for a foul to be given. And saw Lee on the replay shouting back into the penalty area angrily. I thought he was shouting at the ref. Now I realise he was shouting at Rathbone because Lee had scored, I think, essentially, and Rathbone, in trying to make sure, had it chalked off. Anyway, from a team point of view, at least Elliot Lee, I'm sure, will not agree with me on this. Within 2 minutes, it was rectified and we had our second goal. And Rathbone did really well. It was a lovely move, a beautiful flowing move and a great goal. Rathbone doing really well in midfield with 2 men on him to just wriggle a path between him and feed Lee. And that's quick rat-a-tat, first touch passing, Lee feeding it to Dobson, who helps it quickly onto Barnett. Barnett sees Palmer running into the box between his centre-backs and swings the perfect cross in, and Palmer heads it home past the keeper. Great goal, nice header, and Wrexham 2-0 up, and the score now starting to reflect what's going on. We have another shout for handball, this one less convincing for me. McLean cutting in from the left, drilling a powerful shot. It hits Inskren on the chest, and that's the point. I'm pretty certain looking back at it again. His arms are out, but I don't think it hits his arms. It looks to me like it firmly hits his chest, and the referee waves it away. The second half, I mean, all this time, Exeter have looked quite neat in the transition and quite quick getting forwards, but haven't really been getting anything into the box or trouble Burton. Their first save he has to make is after 59 minutes. And it's an opportunity. McGuinness holding the ball pretty well in the centre circle and then turning the ball on nicely. And it's 2-on-2. Watts, though, is brilliantly handled by Cleworth, who just shows him down the channel towards the other striker, Aitchison. In the end, Watts has to release it to Aitchison. The angle's quite tight, and Burton makes a good save with his legs to put it behind from the corner. He makes a better save from the corner, although it was a bizarre one, and it shouldn't have mattered. The corner is swept in, and McGuinness heads it towards goal from about 8 yards out. Burton is having to move because McGuinness at the far post. Burton's having to move across the goal, and Francis grabs hold of his hand. So the ball's going to Burton's right, Francis is to Burton's left, and he just holds his arm. Burton does brilliantly to stretch and push it around a post for a corner, but the ref doesn't give the foul, so wow, that would have been quite something if we conceded from that. But anyway, nothing comes of it. Paul Mullin comes on with 19 minutes left to give Elliot Lee a break, and he's immediately involved in a good move which nearly leads to a goal. Brunt feeding Palmer, who helps it on to Mullin. Lovely little nudge by Mullin to tee Dobson up for the shot. His shot, though, is blocked, on target but blocked. But we don't have to wait long for the third. Again, McLean with exemplary delivery from the corner. And Rathbone this time is running at an near post, beating the keeper to it. It's a perfect delivery. I mean, Rathbone's not big, certainly, compared to the player he's competing with on the line. But he gets there first and therefore just head it into the empty net. And he celebrates in the imperial style. My goodness, his first goal for Wrexham. And boy, oh boy, did he make sure we all knew about it. He was thrilled. Wrexham continue to push on. O'Connell standing a good ball forwards. Palmer bringing it down beautifully in the left side of the box with defenders all round him, and then managing to hook a curling shot just off target. Brilliant effort by him. The crowd loving his efforts. He comes off a minute later and gets a good round of applause. Butherson comes on for him, and also O'Connor comes on for Rathbone, who is also given the accolades of the crowd. And Wrexham had one more chance. Oh, wouldn't it be wonderful if this had gone in? Barnett winning it centrally, working it wide to Dobson on the right. He puts a great cross in, and Mullin goes for a spectacular scissors kick. He hits it pretty well, but he gets underneath it a bit and it goes over the bar. The only other things to report, really, Seb Revan coming on 2 minutes into added time to give Matty James a break, just when he gets from that point of building up fitness, teetering over into he's absolutely exhausted. And Wrexham see off a fine win against a side who are better than they look, surely. Looking at the performances of Burton, again, very, very good. Only had the 2 saves to make in the space of a minute or so and made them both very well. His distribution's confident as well. The 3 centre-backs, Cleworth was superb. From the very start, he's on the front foot, playing almost like a midfielder. The positions he's getting into on the pitch as Exeter are driven back. And he was good at the back. I mean, not least when he sent Watts wide on that dangerous breakaway. In the middle was O'Connell, after his good showing off the bench at Stockport, and he was strong again. I say it so many times, but he's so good at defending that 6-yard box, the penalty area. There have been games when he's had more to deal with, but he's dealt with Josh McGuinness, a current international, really well. And then on the left-hand side, Lewis Brunt, his first league start. Oh, he was good. He defended well. And when he came forwards, he was really causing issues. He drives forwards with pace, and he uses the ball well, and he was a real danger driving forward from the left-hand side. The wing-backs were terrific. Again, Barnett in great form. What a ball in, the assist for Palmer. Absolutely lovely delivery that was. On the left-hand side, I really enjoyed McLean. All action as ever. Tremendous set-piece delivery and a constant threat down the left-hand side. Inskinen was the one extra player that I thought might be able to win an individual battle in this game and cause a problem, because he was quick and it looked like their plan was to find him early, because the opening minutes of the game, or the opening half hour of the game, their outball always seemed to be to try and put it in behind McLean and let the wing-back run onto it. But although he did get there a few times, he didn't make the most of it. And after about half an hour, McLean had him in his pocket completely. It was a really good performance. The sides, I forgot to say, this matched up. Basically, we went to match their style up. It became a battle of individuals, really. And I can't think of a battle that Exeter's player won against their Wrexham counterpart, to be honest. In midfield, again, James, he's a good player. He's so intelligent. He sees the pitch around him. He makes quick decisions so well, and he passes accurately. And he's an exciting prospect for us to have. Gosh, remember we were all purring about George Evans, who was a fine player, and then we brought in Dobson in that position, and then you're thinking, wow, he's great. And now you look at Matty James in that position, you think we've got 3 players in there who can really do a job. Alongside him, of course, was Dobson, who put in an energetic job. It was more of the wide midfield, the wide central midfielder, rather than where we usually see him. You have seen him there a couple of times, and he was energetic, important in the press, put some good balls into the box. On the other side, Rathbone, player of the match, without doubt, absolutely outstanding. My goodness me, non-stop, all action. Whether leading the press, snapping into tackles in midfield, or using the ball, or running on into good positions. Absolutely superb all-round performance by him. If ever a player deserved to score their first goal for Wrexham, it was him in that game. Magnificent. And Elliot Lee as well did really, really well. Slightly more advanced position. His energy again in the press is great, and his pace in the press as we put pressure on teams. He was tenacious and creative, and had a very, very good game. As did Ollie Palmer, who in the first half particularly made the ball stick beautifully. He got so confident after the goal, started playing all sorts of little cute flicks around the corner. They were all finding their targets. Really enjoyed watching Palmer cause problems with those centre-backs. He got, again, a deserved goal. Of the players who came on, I can't say much about Revan, and can't remember if he touched the ball, to be honest with you. Both of us looked lively when he came on up front, as did Mullin. Mullin looked very sharp and very involved. Only had that one chance, really. There was another breakaway where he carried the ball exceptionally well, and he had options either side and just underhit a little reverse pass to McLean, which is a shame, but he looked full of threat. O'Connor came on in midfield. We haven't seen him there for a while, have we? And again, looked comfortable and confident in that position, as you'd expect him to. Brilliant performance by Wrexham. Tip of the hat to Phil Parkinson. We looked refreshed. It'll be really interesting to see what he does against Lincoln now. But the fact is, teams will have to understand, we're not just stuck to that one way of playing. That was brilliant. Hugely enjoyable afternoon. With the final score of Wrexham 3, Exeter City 0, I'm Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC.